I would say, you got to use some fibs at some point to know what are the next levels. And I would use these extensions to target the next levels. And these would be it if they're able to find acceptance here, right? So I would keep that in mind. And then I would definitely mark this December, I would say value area high right here. So now that you have these big levels here, I'm just going to put this one as January value area high. Market's telling you they were not interested in lower prices. Last time we were not interested in higher prices. So what are they interested in?
This range.
They were just interested in this range. So you can call it, if you want, 3-month range, and you can draw the FVP here and see what's happening, and look where we are approaching right now. So if you just delete everything if you want, or just follow along. If you look here, the purple line, I'm just going to hide this for a moment since we don't need it. If you guys look at the purple line, that's your first sig, right? So we peaked above it twice, and we never, well, more times, right? Once, 2 times, 3, 4 times. We went above it and we didn't like it. But you do see here what happened last time, that we came right to that first sig, right? They had a really nice bounce, right? From the 36 level. So that's a big spot, right? So if we're going to go higher, you got to be aware of this level, right? Tomorrow, I would say on a, I would call this 3-month sig 1. And if they're able to establish value above this, that's big. But if we look above and fail, what do you think is a good thing to do? Well, probably play some longer dated puts on SPY, right, to catch that, or you could play VIX, whatever your preference is. But that's at least how I would play it. Okay, does that make sense? Really big time frames. These are monthlies, right? 3-month time frame. Okay, so now when you take this away, you can probably put this 3-month POC here. And delete this for a moment. So this will be a CPOC here at 86. So as long as they're kind of above this, right, it's more bullish and more likely that they're going to go to this value area high that we're approaching right now. So watch for these levels. I mean, there's a lot on the line for the bears here. Okay, let me turn on the weekly so you guys see the weeklies. I'll go 65 minutes. Okay, so on the weekly, what is this telling you? So we're, value shifted down completely here. We peaked above. We didn't like this value here. They didn't have any acceptance above last time, right? And now when you think about this, right, what are they telling you now? Value or low shifted, value area high shifted, POC shifted. So what happens if they lose this level here? Let's say 60, 76. Most likely at 53, and then ultimately you would most likely go to this 37.25. It should be your what?
Oh yeah, that level.
Probably goes here, and then you see, I'm just adding stuff on the top so you guys see all the different participants that are going to be involved here. And then come retail with the bull flag at the top. Really not a level that you guys want to be trading anywhere in this range between 16 and 103. You guys have no business being in here. Okay, just a heads up on that. As of right now, you do see that they broke above this. They came back for a retest and then they went higher. But this is not over yet, I would think, right? I think there's still more to be done here. I don't think necessarily we're going to have a breakout, but it could be that we peak above somewhere on the top and we fail. And that's something I'll watch. So weekly, we're in balance, right? So you have somebody asked me, where's the prior week POC? So this is your prior week POC. Is that what everybody has? About 87 or so. Well,
I got 76.
Okay, you're right on. 76, correct. Yep. So 76 is the POC, and then ultimately, there's not much stopping them to go to 103 on the weekly time frame, and everything would point that they're going to push this, maybe overnight, not sure. to get there. But then when you look at the dailies, right? So you guys can now turn this off and do some analysis on a daily time frame and see what's happening, right? So you have the value area low, and I would say this is a double distribution profile today on volume profile, and almost seems like that they had almost, well, I would say maybe 3 volume profiles that are double distribution here on ETH, and here we're coming back to this balance right now. So we're going to find out shortly, right? Are they going to be accepted here, especially at the extreme level here? Okay. I'm just going to mark this level here. This was our node, massive node that we had at 29.5. I think it was quarter before, but that's okay. So what are they working on now? When you look at this, let me turn on the TPO and see what other information we can gather from. Okay. What are they working on right now? When you guys look at the price action, what is it that they're trying to go for?
Isn't it penthouse?
Yeah, they're trying to go for a penthouse, but remember this day, the Friday, wasn't there some interest in this level that we talked about on Sunday? Was there anything on this that gives you interest, to look out for it?
Excess an all-time high?
The single prints.
And you have the single prints, guys. You have the single prints that are sitting right here. So we can color this almost red here. But this is a pretty big zone here. And this zone, if you guys think about it, is the zone that's going to be separating probably all the way to about 61.20. So if they can crack this 114, you go to this, but this zone is going to be very heavy and good opportunity for short on the first tap here. So if they come here, I don't know where they are overnight, but if they come here and they are struggling, this is a pretty good short, and this is where I would potentially look to add some SPY puts for March, April. Okay. Today, they also had a double distribution, right? That's separated by a really nice set of single prints. And they had a massive excess high, right? So it is overlapping range in between. The value shifted higher and a nice, I would say nice distribution here on the split of the value. So if you guys look here, I'll just mark these as single prints.
Was that a poor high? What is that?
Probably not. I don't know. Let's see. I know on the bottom it's not, and that's definitely access here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, well, never mind. We had a spike. I forgot we had a spike today.
Oh, yeah.
We did have a spike today. So remember, some of us played it for fun. So there was a high probability of a spike. And does everybody understand how we gauge that?
I don't.
Something to do with the outside bar, like
No.
2 periods prior or something.
Okay, so now pay attention to, I'll just go from the beginning, 9:30 till the close. So you have the A period, right? So it has a poor high basically here. Let's just assume with what we had. So they have a poor high here. They came back. C put in a lower high, but still a higher low than a B. So this leaves the axis, right? Then the D was like, okay, we're going higher. So Europe wanted to auction higher. They proceeded. E is where the emotional buyers showed up, right? And they got it, and they basically pushed higher. They built value. Obviously, you can see it clear as a day. They built the value here in this little tiny box. And then they agreed to push that. They trapped some people on the short side here, and then they proceeded to auction higher. So now what you're paying attention to is where is the L period, right? To kind of figure out if you're going to have a higher odds of spike. What happens here is that J period high is sitting at 81. If there was a F period that was sitting up to here, let's just assume this is F period here, okay? I can't align it, but imagine this is F period here. Are the odds the same to break the J period if the F high is here?
No.
No, your odds would be lower because it would need to crack this to basically make a higher high. What the beauty is when the L makes a higher high, and it clears all other previous periods as a high, not only the closest period like K but this is a new high being made in L period. If L period does do that, then you want to make sure, right, that, ultimately when you look at the price action, what's the level that you don't want them to break, right? Well, you don't want to go below this value here. You don't want to crack this right now. This is where they had the ledge, right? And that's where they kind of came back, right? So if I go here on 5 minutes, here's kind of what they did, right? So you have the L period made the high, and what did they do? I mean, they brought it back all the way here, and then I guess right before close, what did they do? Whoop. And somebody told you that 73 was a big level. So at this exact level of 73.5. Why was 73.5 big level?
At POC.
Support.
Well, it's POC, but this is the ledge, and this is where late in the day, right, towards the end, they started pushing the prices to test if you have buyers. And they tested it, right? And the L period did clear the previous high. That's when I told you guys around 321, hey, there's a high chance that we're going to get this. And most likely, if they pull back to 73, that becomes a buy opportunity for a spike. And I think the rest is history. They came back and they hit the spike pretty nicely here. Does it make sense why now to all?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, good. And on spikes like this, when you see this, this is actually not bad to play SPX. I guarantee you SPX from here to here, last minute probably went 400 or 500%. Takes a lot of patience and waiting to get these spike setups, but it's actually not bad. So for tomorrow intraday, what is this marked?
Spike base. That was actually so good too, because you had the past week POC right there. Like there was so much confluence to that trade.
Yeah, this was a big level here, but then this 73 was, man.
Yeah, like that was just so good.
That was a beauty. Yeah, that was good. So this is otherwise marked as spike and or PDH, right? So now you know how to play this tomorrow. And how would you guys play this tomorrow?
If it holds spike base, then it's bullish.
Okay. Anyone else?
Just in the middle, semi-bullish, below. Semi-bearish and below bearish.
Yeah. So if we do reject this spike, and what this is telling you for newer folks, right? Each one of these letters, and we'll do a class on this, each one of these letters represent 30 minutes of trading. So if I put 30-minute bars here, you'll see that each one of these bars is going to be aligned to a letter, right? Right, and you see here, here's your, I don't know, this was E, I believe, right? Yeah, that was your E period. And then let me zoom in a little bit. And you see how each 30-minute bar is just a representation where the price went. Where did the auction go? Market profile is nothing more than a structured way to present the data, okay? So now when you look at this, right, each of these periods, 30-minute candles are making higher highs or lower highs, right? But here on the spike, the reason why we call it spike, it's called time price opportunity for a reason. We did not have enough time to confirm if the price is being accepted here because there's no more trading after 4 o'clock. M period is 3:30 to 4. Therefore, the only other period that's left on trading view is the settle price here on period N. So the spike base, if we go above it, that means they're rejecting lower prices, and most likely we're going to rip and proceed higher. Okay. If we are able to, let's say, open in the middle and we crack this spike base, then it's going to act as a resistance, right? Right now, if we open above it, it's going to act like support and most likely a good long to try. And if we lose it, then your bias should be bearish. Most likely, if we lose 84, I would target this probably 76 to about 73. That would be the range that they're most likely after. So this makes
some videos are gonna talk, so you guys
Oh,
can
makes sense. Does that make sense to all?
Yeah, and actually, right now, after hours, we've actually broke that, and we're kind of looking at if they're going to hold it and send it like you just said.
Well, let's see where we are. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're gonna send it to 103 here before the day's over. Well, maybe even before this watch list is over. But they have a poor low here on OVM, so whoever's trading, if we peak above here, so what you want to see now, if you're what do you want to see now if you're trading this? I just want to see.
I'd love to get a if I had it my way, I'd love it to hit 88, retest it, go long. If it breaks below anywhere there, or especially below 84, then would be wanting to go short.
What is he missing? You're missing something. Tom, don't answer.
All right.
If it comes that close to that poor lower, you're probably expecting that it will fix it, right?
Okay. So tell me, how would you play this? There's two setups you could play. How would you play it?
Maybe wait for that poor low to get fixed and then play the spike base long.
Okay, that's a very good one. But what if we go here? There's also, is there a poor high?
Yeah.
Okay. One is more probable than the other. So my next question would be, which one's more probable? There's two scenarios you could play. They're most likely going to clean this up and clean this poor high. If they do, and they crack this value area high, what are the odds that they're going to clean this up? I would say pretty high, right? Because it's a D-shaped profile. The odds are pretty high. The value, there's not much range here. You're talking about 4 or 5 points. So if they do this, they're going to trap a lot of shorts here. They come back and this is your long. Which one is more probable, this short or this long?
The long.
The long is more probable. Could you play the short? Yes, but you're playing with fire. So just understand, you're in a trend. We haven't started framing down. Both will be cleaned up tonight. So I'm not going to be around to watch it. But if I was to play, I would just leave a limit order here and let it ride. Does that make sense to all? Don't bet a farm here because you're not going to win. It's going to happen, but you're not going to win. They're going to stop you out, I promise. Does that make sense? Did I confuse anyone?
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
I was only saying breaking below 84, then I would look for short. I probably wouldn't even try shorting that up top like you were saying.
Yeah, it'd be tough to catch it, right? I mean,
yeah, and likelihood if they get some crazy guys in there buying it up, they'll just keep sending it.
Yep. And this is settled price. Just keep that in mind for tonight, whoever's trading overnight.
And you wouldn't be able to catch that short because it would move too quickly?
No, you could be, but you're playing, think about it. This train is going right now up, right? This train is moving west and you want to take it back east. And it's like, okay, well, everybody's fucking buying here. Like, I mean, every dip was bought. They dip, they buy, they dip, they buy, they dip, they buy. So you might catch 2-3 points and, it might just fly through it. Maybe they don't retest the spike. Maybe you don't fix it, but you're playing low probability setup, right? If this was a bearish, right? If you're framing down on a daily, well, I think that would be good, right? Because now when you think about where do we open and where we closed on this day, that's not bearish. It's not really bearish, right? So
yeah,
that's
that
why
makes
I'm
sense.
saying that. The trend is your friend, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, if you're trying to time the top, this is not it. So if they give you the opportunity to take this, and it looks like they're about to auction lower to this 88, sorry, and a half here shortly. So you might have that. They had some imbalance here at the top. So they're most likely going here. Yeah, they're most likely going to visit this shortly. 89 to 88. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. 4 points. Don't get too excited. Okay. Does that make sense to all? AMD today, I don't know if you guys are interested, but we took this trade right here today. Does everybody know why we took it?
You longed it
Nah.
off the PLC, yeah?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I think you longed it off for like a 3-month PLC.
Yeah, I mean it was a pretty massive POC there. I don't know. I feel like why is this not update? Okay, very good. So if you guys look here, I think we grabbed it from here somewhere. I don't know why it looks so odd.
I gotta go. Thanks,
Shorty,
Shorty. Appreciate it.
Okay,
I
see
think
you.
you, I think, Shorty, you have a photographic memory.
I do, yeah. So the POC, it maybe shifted, right? POC was like right here at 107 and some change, maybe somewhere around here. So we got it pretty much at the low. The contracts was, I would say, really, really low when we got it, and they went up almost. I think they closed well above 100% today. We got the 110s for I think 3 weeks out, and they moved pretty fast. At one point, I mean, they just jumped, right? As they started auctioning back, then they had like a little pullback, and then they proceeded to go higher. So I would say most likely, if you guys still have them, it's going to 114. I wouldn't be too excited hold as we approach the gap, right? There's a reason why we gapped. And I don't doubt that we're not going to clean this up. So if you have any runners, do what's best for you. But I trimmed basically all of it. I'm okay with my profits, and I'd rather book these profits because tonight, let's say Trump posts that he had bad talks with China. What do you think happens? We get sell off, right? And the profits that I had and I was being greedy, they're gone. So, if I have 10 contracts and I'm up a couple of grand, I'll take it. So it's just giving you the way I play it. Some people might hold it, but I do buy more time when I'm on stuff like this, right? Somebody asked me, why do you buy more time? Well, it minimizes my risk, gives me more opportunity that, maybe I could have made a couple of 100% on 0 DTE, but that's not to say that I couldn't have lost all of it too if the wrong move happened, right? Because you have Theta and everything kicking against you. So hopefully that makes sense. I did also post that Tesla is most likely headed lower, much lower. But let me explain that so you guys understand it as well.
Yeah.
So here's Tesla, right? So if you guys look at it, market's telling you something pretty obvious here, right? So if they can't hold this, which they're pretty much out, in order to run, they got to go above call it 387. The value area here is super tight, right? So that tells me what?
Other
It's gonna
time frame
break out.
Yeah, facilitation of the trade's pretty poor. That means the other time frame participants, they're not in here, guys. But they were somewhere. Do you guys know where they were?
The TLC below that.
They're right. They're right here selling when they peaked above value. Remember, we sell above value and we buy below. So when we went below it, what did they do? They bought it. So now what you're paying attention to, are they absorbing this? Like, think about this. We came here, we tapped, and we basically made higher highs eventually here. We made a bunch of equal highs, and then they trapped more people here. We lost this fair price, which is here for, I believe it was December. So we lost this fair price nicely at 420. Now, if they lose this, I mean, you have this area at 355, and then ultimately, you're looking at right here. I would say there's a high chance you're going to be seeing Tesla 210 to 219. This would be the range where I would add some shares. I would definitely add shares here again. This is where I'm looking to add. And even I would potentially look to add some leaps, like 2 years for 800 calls or something like that at this level.
That's exactly what we rocketed when Trump got elected.
Yeah. So this is going to be retested. Be patient if you're, if you love playing Tesla, love owning it. This is the only level where I would buy it. Last time we bought it, I think was 156. I think it was somewhere 158ish, 158, 156 it was basically here. And I told you guys, when you consolidate something like this, this is consolidation. When you pop above, you're going to come back and find the value area low of that break, whatever that break was. You're most likely going to come back for a revisit. And look what they did. They came back to a dip below, trapped all the shorts right here, and boom, they were in a lot. And we caught this short here, I believe. I don't know which one, Sunny, we caught. It was either this one or this one. I forget. No, it was this one.
Yeah.
That was this one. All right, that'd be it. If you guys have questions, you're welcome to ask. I'll schedule a class, a market profile. I'm gonna hopefully do it somewhat differently this time. So I do have some other material to give you guys on it and see if that helps kind of tie out the missing pieces for some of you. Some of you guys are very close to, turning the page. So hopefully we can get there. Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Good
All
luck
right, guys.
tomorrow.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Shorty.
Yeah, thanks, Shorty. Good luck
All right,
tomorrow.
thank-
Thank you.